Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody had an awesome weekend. I know I did. Hey guys. Hey Carrie. Ashley. Nan. All sorts of people piling in here tonight. Hi.
Hello, how are
Hello. I'm
you?
good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Hello, ATD.
Everybody's on tonight. Look at they're all
Good.
piling in there. Awesome.
So this is going to be a little different look for me. You and I have already talked about this privately, but
Yes.
um, I'm not going to be able to demo, but I can, what's the word, narrate
Okay.
for the group and answer questions. So that gives our great leader, Allison, the ability to craft and show us what she's working on. So that is where we are now. So I thought that would be better than me just going on total hiatus and
Yeah.
people going through rust withdrawals on ATD. So
Yes. Yes. The withdrawals are strong with that. So,
so
okay.
welcome everyone, and so that's what we're gonna do. You're gonna be looking at me, and you're gonna be watching Allison do her thing.
Yeah.
So
No, and I think
yeah.
that's a pretty reasonable compromise there. So that's
Well, I
yeah.
I talked with my attorneys, and my attorneys talked with their attorneys, and they agreed that this would be okay until we figure all this out. So
Okay.
they just don't want me demoing yet until this has been resolved. So I said, okay, well, I can deal with that. They can. So there we are. So It just
Okay.
pains me not to be posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm posting is the Dr. Ross show. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome.
So are you able to
Um,
post looking at stamps?
they don't even want me posting that yet. So the only thing, and only because it was a 365 series, they have allowed me to post on that because it's just photos.
Carrie asks,
Without,
what about postcards, incoming or outgoing or anything
I
like
can't
that?
post. I can't post anything on social media of any artistic endeavor right now until we determine what artistic
Interesting.
endeavor
Yeah, I was going to
is.
say it's going to come down to
So
some pretty specific interpretation there.
exactly, and we definitely interpreted one way, and they interpreted another, and this all happened because one of their interns, who follows me, was watching, and brought it to the attention of her superiors about some of the content that I was doing on the show, and so they looked at reviews. They reviewed some of the video and didn't they did it in a nice way. They didn't do it the desist letter, but they asked me if we could pause. That was their term. My social media until we can come to a concurrence
Okay.
of what this all means. So let's see. We have Ashley. We have Carrie. We have Nan. Um let's see. I know I'm missing some people because I was
Lisa and
Lisa Good.
quite a few
Um,
different folks have popped in. Jennifer,
Jennifer's here.
Carrie,
Catherine
Catherine.
is
Yeah.
here. Nick is here.
Yeah.
Welcome. And Giddy is here.
Giddy,
Welcome, Giddy.
hello. Good morning to you,
Giddy.
Giddy.
Yeah,
Hi.
exactly. She's on her way to work.
Awesome.
Yep, the OG is here in the house.
The OG.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
um, so, what are you working on?
So I've been busy this weekend. In my spare time, when my family wasn't hijacking me, I was spending my time making some postcards, and I have continued on with my line of Halloween postcards. So that's what I was going to continue with tonight. Now, I'll show you guys. These are some of the ones that I started last week or maybe 2 weeks ago now. So you guys probably remember these. This is the one that had the dorky dad joke, and then this was the one with the pumpkin cat. So these were a couple of the originals. Carrie says, "I spy a Dunkin' cup. Are you drinking Dunkin' over there?" or
I'm
is it me?
not.
Oh, it's me.
You.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
you.
that's
Goodness
me.
gracious.
So you don't strike me as a Dunkin' person, but there we go.
I love Dunkin' Donuts. I don't drink coffee at all. So oh no, OG is lying in bed. Hopefully that's out of choice and not out of necessity. OG, let us know if everything's okay. That's it's so sad that in this pandemic, it's the first thing that pops into our head. It's just that, do you have to play? Kind of thing. You know, but
Well,
hopefully
yeah.
you have a day off and you're enjoying your day and enjoying waking up with us. Just a big
Yes,
smile. But
indeed,
yeah.
indeed.
Um,
So yeah, like
so
I had made tons of these things over the weekend, and I finished some that I
that's cool.
started.
And what do you
Yeah,
plan to do with the said postcards?
send them out
What are you
as
planning on doing? No, but will you wait until Halloween, or will you send them out early?
no. So I was trying to be proactive and get my Halloween postcards created because in actuality, I have never made or sent a Halloween postcard like
Oh,
during
cool.
Halloween before. So this is the first year I'm doing it,
Well,
and
Frank Roche followers all know about Halloween postcards,
I
and
don't.
Ashley as well. Yeah, so Frank is big on Halloween, and our friend Best Wishes Eric is a big Halloween person as well. I've just noticed that half of my face is in shadow because of where my light is, but that's all right.
Looks normal to me.
Okay, okay.
No, it looks fine
But
from here.
yeah, it looks like this half is in shadow, but that's fine. And so Ashley, yeah, exactly. There we go. See, that's what I'm supposed to look like, all sun-ridden, right? Um, but and Carrie wants to know if you had lots of pen pals before COVID.
No, I just had a couple of people that I would occasionally, and when I say pals, this is much more transactional. I just did it through SwapBot. So I'd sign up for a swap and
Right.
it would be like, send a note card to somebody. And then I'd be like, okay, the algorithm would spit out who to send it to. And then I'd follow the instructions and off it went. But I didn't really have anybody other than like immediate family or a couple family friends that I typically send postcards to when I travel or whatnot, or I go, I do a day trip somewhere, then I'll send it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, so no, not until COVID hit. And now I will say I noticed a happy surprise when I checked my P.O. box today. I had several postcards from different folks in there today. So I was not expecting there to be mail in there.
So Mag Simpson has joined. Welcome, Mag. So has Janet
Janet.
has
Hey,
joined.
Janet.
Um, and Carrie says she's excited to be on this endeavor with you. Um, but I was never a Halloween postcard sender
Ever?
before I met Frank. And then Ashley sells vintage Halloween postcards at her store.
Right on.
Yeah, so they got me into it, and then I started collecting a small collection Halloween, but now I bought something and have built. I'm actively looking for them. So, but good. Well, oh, good. That makes me.
So I've got actually 8 postcards in
And then,
total that are Halloween
wow.
focused, which that's the most Halloween postcards I've ever made or possessed. Wow, that came out really
So I did
nice.
this one for you. Yeah. So I was demonstrating the Misty, and so I did this image for you.
That
So
looks
because I know
awesome.
you're a Halloween person.
Speaking of
So
the Misty, Pam
oh
joined.
no, Pam is
Yes.
exactly.
And Pam
Pam
was
is here,
talking all
and
about
I
the
want to give a
Misty.
shout out to Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pam has just been assigned to one of the design teams called Three Room Studio that was just announced this morning. So congratulations, Pam. And they're going to do a a craft hop,
Craft.
starting tomorrow.
Wait. What's a
Uh,
craft hop?
that's where different designers will put links to different things for you to follow along, and there's freebies and ways to get stuff if you follow along. So, and it's a way of introducing people to different artists and different stores and different products and things like that. So, so it's like a round robin. So you go from here. you get introduced to another artist, and then they send you to another artist, and so it's kind of fun.
Very nice.
Um, but Pocono Pam, our own, has joined the 3 room studio design team, so I want to give her a shout
Wow.
out for that.
Wow. Yeah,
And
Pam is
while we
getting
are
some
doing
amazing
shout outs,
exposure.
exactly, and our own Frank Roche has a new podcast out. Sorry, a new episode of his Postcards podcast out, and it's one of the people that we follow as well. It's Eloise Likes Mail, I think is her name,
Okay.
but it's Eloise from the UK. So yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, I have not. I actually listened to his, not the latest podcast, but I listened to the one before that. I forget her name. She was from
Mika.
yes, from India.
Mika,
Yes.
yep.
Yep. I listened to that while I was driving today. So
And she dropped the name a couple of times that maybe you may recognize.
yeah, she was like, "Oh
Different
yes."
episodes.
She's like, "Oh yes."
Yep.
I send postcards. Russ and I,
Yeah.
we exchange every month, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, this Russell gets around."
Yeah.
I'm like, "How are you getting mentioned on all
You've
these
been talking
random
to-
podcasts?"
You've been talking to my ex, but yeah, I can get
He
around.
gets round.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
But so yes,
Yes.
the Lost Letters episode was great, and so congrats, Frank. I
And
haven't listened to
yeah.
Eloise podcast episode yet, but it is on my queue.
I got to
of
put
things
that in.
to
I got to
listen.
queue that one up as well. Yeah, and it's interesting. I knew very little about how India does postal service, and I
Right.
didn't realize that like everything is sorted manually by hand, and it was just like, whoa, they don't have machines really, and
Yeah.
it just there are things I think that I take for granted about our
Yes.
own postal service in this country, and when I think about it, I complain sometimes. I'm like, it took so long. Why did this take a week to get to my mom? It only went like one state away.
Yeah.
But when I think about it in the grander context of things more globally, I'm like, whoa. So sometimes things even within India take like a month to get from
Exactly.
only going a few kilometers down the road. I'm like, that's mind blowing.
But what's even more mind blowing is they do it for 5 cents a postcard.
Yeah, I'm like, oh
Yeah,
man,
I'd
imagine
pay
how many
that.
postcards you could send.
Exactly,
Like, imagine
exactly.
the possibilities. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I have communicated with Bhumika, and when she feels comfortable, I'm going to send her a donation so she can buy stamps. Not that
Yeah.
she needs it, but it just pains me that people are having to make the decision between eating lunch and buying stamps. And
Yeah,
so
and her
she and I
passion
big-
for the trade and the hobby
Exactly.
was
Right.
amazing. It was
Yeah.
very inspiring to just hear her stories and
Yeah, but just to
Yeah.
know that people are making that commitment to something that they love,
Mm-hmm.
something that I take for granted, because if I want, a book of stamps, it's easy for me just to go out and get it. So,
but she travels by train down to
Right,
was
exactly.
some Chennai, was it, to get the actual stamps at the
yeah, she has to make a road
Department
trip
of
out of it.
Philately or wherever that was.
yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, she does have an Instagram. I will try. It's Bhumika. If you type that in, you should be able to get it. If not, DM me, or I'll send it to the chat feed, and we can do that. Speaking of the chat feed, the seal has been broken. So those of you who have been receiving your special postcard can now share it. So some of you, yes, Carrie, that is Bhumika.
Okay.
So if you haven't received your special Russ postcard, it's in the mail. Vicky is here, who is joining us from India.
Okay.
So Vicky and I are pen pals together. Or I should say, we are stamp pals. He is one of our one of my stamp friends.
Nick really
So-
likes the postcard, by the way. She
Yeah.
says it is the, quote, cutest postcard ever. And with that kind of
So,
endorsement, I
yeah.
won't spoil it. It may
Yeah.
be in the pile of postcards that was in my P.O. box
Yeah.
today.
Yes,
Maybe.
Kitty, that's exactly it. Bhumika_snail mail.
Okay.
So, Vicky, let me know, please, when Mail to India has resumed. I know it is off of our list of prohibited mail destinations, but we still don't know if mail is actually being delivered. So we can now send mail to India, but we do not know it's actually
Oh.
been received. So
When
as soon as
when was that lifted? Do you know by chance, Russ?
it's been about a week and a half ago.
Okay, so it's
Uh,
recent. It's fairly recent.
yeah, oh, very recent,
Okay.
very because I've been checking weekly because I owe Ramika several postcards and several of my the postcard giveaway that I gave the Friendship Society. A lot of the winners were from India. I've been holding those to send because I sent some mail to India and it was returned. Uh, so
At
Heidi is
least it
here.
was returned. And Magar
Yes,
Parak joined. Hey, folks.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's where we are. Let's see, what else was I going to add? Oh, I posted a photo to the feed, and I need everyone's assistance. So, um, so what I want you to do, is, for those of you listening and watching, I want you to go to my profile, click on my IGTV channel, which if you look at the three icons in the middle, it's the one that looks like a little TV with a little squiggle in the belly.
Yep.
Click on that and it should give you all of my videos. Then what I want you to do is to the left of that, you'll see a little drop down
Okay.
menu that says series. Click on that and then click on the studio series. And what I want you to do is to give me a screenshot of what you see when you do that. What you should see is what I posted to the group chat. A lot of you are complaining, or mentioning, I should say, you're not complaining, but you're mentioning that you don't have access to my studio replays.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I was like,
And Nan is having difficulty. So that's how you would find it. So once again, you go to the little TV icon on my page, on my profile. Click on it. It'll give you all of my videos. To the left, in the center, you'll see a little drop-down menu that says series. Click on the series, and you'll get a list of all the series.
okay.
One is the studio, one is Postcards for Good, one is Postcard Challenges. And so click on the studio, and you should see all of my studio sessions there.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is do a screenshot of that, and let me know exactly what it is that you see. And also, let me know what phone you are working with. What I think may happen is if you have an earlier thing, it may not be available to you. So that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, and that's let me know. Heidi says on her phone it's under the TV icon. So
the TV icon.
yeah.
Okay.
So let me know because I really want everyone to be able to see those. And we will go from there. And so I'm trying what we use in the Navy, troubleshoot this to see why people are having different experiences with it. So because I would love for you to watch the replays.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
what, are you cutting? What are you doing? You punching? You cutting?
You're being so nosy. Yeah, I'm pulling.
Show it.
I've got my cheapo block of block notes.
Well, then show us. Show us what you're doing.
Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show my screen so everybody can look at what I'm doing. No pressure. This is a little different. Okay. So I've got an old Joanne Fabrics mailer that I'm using as my glue sheet here. I'm literally just taking my postcards that I made. What's that?
So that's cool.
Yes.
Your glue sheet. But
yes.
I thought you were turning that into a postcard.
It's
Let's
like
see what you're
buy
going to glue on
stuff,
top of that.
buy things, and like it came with all of these coupons. No. I'm like, no, I'm not falling into that trap. You guys can't outwit me. I'm not doing it this time. I have too much stuff already. All right, so I started out. I made some of these Halloween themed postcards, and some of them have more detail than others. So I over
You're
the weekend,
pixelating.
you're pixelating. Okay, is
Am I
Russ?
pixelating to you?
Is it
You're
Russ?
pixelating
Who's
to me.
pixelating? That's
So let us know, folks, who's pixelating.
a a pink heart if I am pixelating, and a dark colored heart, like jet black, for Russ if Russ is pixelating.
For Russ's heart. Is that what you're saying? My dark heart?
So these are all of the both. Oh, whoa. Maybe it's Instagram. Instagram's just like flipping out tonight. Maybe it's not us.
Maybe it's the heat.
It's like Instagram's like it's too warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I endeavored to make some more Halloween postcards over the weekend. Used up some of my Halloween stickers.
I
Oh
like
yes,
that.
look it. It's one of
What
my.
is that?
It's one of my vintage stamps. Ashley says
Okay.
it looks
Oh,
like
cool.
swimmy.
Oh, gosh.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
can see
sorry,
it.
Nick.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, don't look. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you protect Nick, but don't protect me? What the hell's up with that?
Look, fierce eyebrows.
Yeah,
Woo.
I
So anyway, so this was
like you.
this was what I worked on over the weekend.
Go back
And
to the first
what?
other eyebrows.
Can you unpixelate for a second? What?
Telephone.
The telephone?
It was you pixelating.
It's you.
Yeah. I like that one. I like the telephone in the corner.
It's got a little vintage aesthetic
Morella
there.
joined, my friend Morella. Welcome. You can see me this time because I can't demo because of legal matters. That's a
Because
long
of
story. Snail Zoe's here.
reasons.
Hey, Zoe.
It's like I can't demo because of reasons.
Exact reasons.
But weirdly enough, I'm like, so apparently what I'm creating is not that important, and that's okay. I'm like,
No,
I don't mind. I don't mind
You're just
being.
not on. No, it's you are not under contract. That's
I am
what it
not
is.
bound to any terms and conditions
Exactly.
around my craft abilities.
Which we're not going to go there, but
Do we need to? Do we need to?
No.
And guys, how's the lighting? Can you guys actually see what I'm doing here if I angle down?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good.
All right. If
You're in bright light, yeah.
yeah, if at any
Yeah.
point the
If you
light,
just move a little bit forward, okay, if you move it up a little, that way you're out of shadow. Just a little bit further down, and right there you're in a little in shadow. That last one, but you're still very well lit. So don't worry about it.
all right. Well, if anything gets shadowy or weird, just
Yep.
let me know.
We have a consensus that we all love the kid in the top postcard that you have there.
You guys like this one the best?
I love that kid.
He's like looking at the ghost with the fierce eyebrows as if to say, like, why do those ghosts have to have fierce eyebrows? Like, why is this a requirement?
Allison, Ashley wants to know, did you go to the outside antique market?
Yes, I did.
Did you buy any things?
For the first time, no, I did not. I know.
What?
Well, what happened was upstate, like, and by upstate I mean like far north. The great far north of New York State got a rainstorm late Saturday, early into Sunday morning, and so by the time we got out into, and this is like you're going out, the county that this is in is like straight up farmland. It's like farm, and it's like, oh, here's the weekend market. So by the time we got out there, half of the vendors had bailed on this antique market because I think they assumed it was going to be a washout just by, there was some uncertainty with the weather situation. So.
See, are you watching? See me? See me? This came out perfectly.
What is that?
No ghetto Jolly Rancher stuck to the wrapper. See?
What?
See? These are Jolly Ranchers. Remember you were criticizing them like ghetto?
I was criticizing them because they looked sticky.
And see? Clear wrapper.
So, it's funny too because is eating candy dramatically on the camera, is that considered artistic? Kidding. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue here. Yeah, what's up with
Uh,
this? What's up with this whole new mukbang trend where like people sit on YouTube and eat like egregious amounts of food and people watch them eat? Like this is a thing now.
it has been, but it's been a thing for a while though.
Why though? Like what? I don't understand. Like there's one kid who comes on and he's like, look at all the Taco Bell I bought, and he'll sit there and he'll crush like 13 chalupas. He'll crush like 5 soft shell, 6 hard shell tacos, and it's like a. He'll spend like an hour filming himself eating. I don't understand this.
Do you know where this originated though?
South Korea, perhaps?
Well, in the Far East, yes, absolutely.
It's like, look at all the food I'm eating.
Yeah.
Listen to it crunch. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What?
Carrie wants
do not
someone to make
understand.
a swimmy Halloween postcard.
Well, there are elements. Nick, cover your eyes for 30 seconds. There are elements of swimmy in some of the postcards because I did some stamping. My parents gave me these extra letterpress stamps that they found at the market a few weekends ago. So there's these. So a couple of them have a swimmy on it, but I don't know. It's talk about an artistic endeavor. That's a lot of work to make a swimmy. Whoops. So maybe
That's a little bitty swimmy.
that's a little
Let's
one.
think it's a big swimmy.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Um,
yeah.
I'm not sticking my tongue out at you, but Nan wants me to show you my new
Okay.
tongue.
Okay.
There you go, Nan, just for you.
Just for Nan. Just for Nan.
Just for Nan. Yep.
So yeah.
Did I mention Jim joined us?
Jim Lynch. No, I saw him.
Hey, Jim.
He
Okay,
crept
good,
in
good,
a little
good.
while ago. No, we noticed.
did,
We
yeah,
noticed Jim
yeah.
showed up.
Yeah, I did. Oh, good. I just want to. I don't want to ignore people because I want them
No,
to know
no.
that they were. Yeah.
No, and believe me, like half the time I'm like mid-sentence and I'll notice somebody join. I'm like, oh, cool, they joined. But like I'll be mid-sentence and then I'll forget
Exactly,
to
yeah.
greet them. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nothing personal, guys.
Yeah.
We are like all over the place in terms of focus.
And that's just
content.
not tonight. That's every night.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much every night. It's just a
We're just.
thing.
This is definitely a non-scripted show.
Everything here is pretty much impromptu.
Fly by the seat of your pants more ways than one.
That's how we
Yeah.
roll. I
And that's
mean,
if you're wearing pants. So yes.
well,
See, now I had to dress up. I can't be, incognito because now the camera's on me. So
so
I have to
did
dress
did your swamp cooler ever arrive? Like, what happened with
it
that?
has not.
How? Okay, so like, should we be worried about you?
Well, I have been.
How are you keeping cool? What is your strategy?
I have been melting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I take a lot of showers throughout the night. So.
Oh my God! Like,
Yeah.
how many on average would you say?
It depends. Tonight I took a shower right before I came on screen,
Okay.
And then the nights are cooler here, so the nights are about 70 to 80.
Okay.
It's just during and I'm very fortunate because during the day when it's so I have a fan in each of my two rooms. So I have a fan. So I'm in the craft room and I have a fan in my bedroom that blows on me directly. And so yeah, these make too.
So
These make
it's manageable during the day?
I figured out when I had an AC that it cost 25 cents an hour to run it.
You did the
So
math on this?
for an
Holy
8-hour
cow.
Oh, absolutely. And so for 8 hours that's $4 just if you run it for 8 hours.
Yep.
And so that translated to $120 a month extra.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'm one person, and I shouldn't be spending that extra amount of money on top of just the regular electrics. So, because my electrics normally run about $45 to $60 a month.
Which, honestly, that's reasonable for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
pretty reasonable.
And most of that is the gas fee to be able to have gas to run my stove. It's $19 to have gas accessible to run my stove. And so,
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And so I thought about just turning off the gas and just cooking with microwave and a hot plate and using my oven for storage. But I like to cook too much. I like to bake, so I that wasn't an option.
So, I have a question.
Okay,
Can I show a product on the screen and ask about it?
sure.
Okay. I don't know. You ever buy something and you're not 100% sure what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely, all the time,
All
all the
right.
time.
So first of all, and I'm not gonna turn this into a 30-minute rant about Tuesday morning closing because, quite honestly, like I get it. The company's downsizing. They're getting rid of their brick and mortar stores. Now, could they start like a digital transformation and have like a nice e-commerce? Like they could have an e-commerce. Like you could shop them online. Like lots of companies are doing it. I don't know why Tuesday Morning chose this business model, but alas, so they're some of the stores are closing, including the one in my mom's town. Super bummed, but there are others out there who still have the store. So my hat's off to you guys. I'm envious that you guys still have the store. I did go in because they've got some sick savings, and there were a lot of things that were 10, 20, 30, 40, up to I think 60% off. So, okay, I have a thing for mushrooms. And here I was walking through Tuesday mornings, and it was $1.49 originally, and it was 40% off of that. And I was like, oh my God, this thing has mushrooms on it. So, long story short, this is an embossing folder, and I guess, Russ, this is what the final product is supposed to look like. However, I came to the startling conclusion when I got this thing home. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do embossing, not knowing, doing zero research on what embossing entails, right? So then I went on your studio session on Sunday and I'm like, okay, so I need a heat gun. I need embossing powder. I might need some VersaFine Clear pigment ink or something. And something else. I don't know. But anyways, I got this thing and I'm like, oh, I can just kind of mess around with it and I can make stuff with it. But then I'm like, wait a minute. This is a folder. Okay, so
You
imagine
have
my
no idea. You have no idea what that is, do you?
imagine my surprise when I brought this home and I took it out of the package and I'm like, I got mushrooms. I'm like, oh yeah, buddy, I got mushrooms. So I
Well,
opened it up and I'm like,
yeah,
what does this do? I don't
yeah.
understand. And I'm reading the package and it's like an embossing folder and it says, use for scrapbooking, embellishing, and much more. And I'm like, oh, what's the much more? I don't know. It says add texture and style to your paper and cardstock projects. I'm like, okay, conceptually, I can get on board with this. Darice, D-A-R-I-C-E is the brand. Let's call it Darice because I feel like being fancy.
Okay.
Darice embossing folders fit most embossing machines. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have a machine. Works best with heavyweight cardstock. I'm like, I have cardstock, but what's this? What is this witchcraft? I need a
Okay.
machine for this? Like, what's the deal?
You do, and I was going to mention that to you on the studio. Um, that was the wrong thing to what I was doing, but I didn't want to embarrass you. Um, so
Wait a
what
minute.
that
Wait a
does
minute.
is
So what were you actually saying? Like I shouldn't have bought the embossing folder without a machine?
embossing folder is different from heat embossing. What I was demoing was heat embossing. What you have is a folder that you run through a machine. What you do is you take that folder, you put your cardstock between the two layers of that,
Okay.
and you run it through like a mini press.
So you're
Exactly.
like, nah, and it like goes
Right.
through. So that's
Right. And
oh,
what that happens is the piece of cardstock that you sandwich in between those two
it
pieces,
makes an imprint.
it makes an imprint.
But there's no glitter, there's no dust. There's
Nothing.
this oh, there's
It's
no
just and
ink.
no, well, there can be ink. So what you do is once you impress that, then you can run an ink pad or a blending tool with ink over it, and all the highlights will be highlighted with the ink that you chose.
Oh man. Well,
So,
this is going into my pile of stuff I'll work on someday.
Or you could send it to any number one of us who have said machines,
True.
and we could do a whole bunch of them for you and then send them back to you.
I don't know. What do you guys think? So Pam goes, "So you didn't read the package
No,
in the store?" Well, like
I have
I
I
did, but
have a I
what? You're pixelating. I can't hear you, dude.
you are pixelating.
You are pixelating. I cannot hear you.
I stopped talking.
Okay, I did. I stopped talking too.
Okay, can anybody hear me right now? I am talking. Please send
Yes.
hearts if you can
Thumbs
hear
up
me.
if you can hear him talking. I can hear you. You just
Okay.
the parts the right when you're about to do a really good explanation, it's like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can't understand you. Like, I need the information. What do I do with this?
So the suggestion has been that you offer that as a bingo prize for one.
Well, I can get on board with that because I don't want to make that investment in buying a machine that I might not use.
Well, I have a big shot machine which can use that. I'm sure many of our fellow ATDers have similar machines. So if you have a machine, type in and let us know that you have an
I have the machine. Yes,
uh,
please.
so because if you want those, you can send that to me and I will make pages and pages of that for you and send them back to you if that's something you're interested in. Um, but if not, offer it as a prize. I think it's a great idea.
Why
Um,
not? We could do both, even, right?
yeah, yeah,
Hey, two birds, one stone. It then becomes a bingo prize once Russ is finished with it and he
yeah,
sends me these precious mushrooms. But like the design is cool. Look at the cool design. They're like,
yeah.
I love I like how bold these little designs are. So anyway,
So you know how you know
Cuttlebug.
letter.
Hold on. What is Pam saying? What is a my very first Cuttlebug was $5 on eBay.
The Cuttlebug is one of the machines that you can use to use those embossing folders.
Cuttlebug.
Yeah,
Huh. And again, it's a manual, no ink needed, just
no,
cardstock and a folder.
right.
I got to think about this one. This is one of those things where it's like, do I dive in? Do I ride the snake? Do I make that investment in the craft item? Or
Well, I just
do I
don't
pass it
think
along?
that you and embossing folder kind of girl. So much utility I don't know how to get out of it unless you do. Like a lot of people use these for layered cards.
I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't
exactly.
do that. I don't
Yeah.
do layered
So,
cards
yeah, okay.
yet.
Yeah, exactly. And so you use that as a background for one of the layers of cards. So, for example, you would run through that, get the embossing, and then you would put something like this on top of it.
Okay.
So you have a layered background. So that's what embossing folders normally do. You know letterpress cards. You know letterpress,
Letterpress. No.
like a letterpress invitation that you get. How you have that raised image.
Yes. Yes.
This is the same thing. The
Okay.
same
It's just little designs as opposed to actually like
exact.
alphabet letters.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's kind of like I was listening to Car Talk once, and this woman calls up, and she drove. I forget what the heck kind of car she drove, but she's like, my uncle passed away, and I was bequeathed his Porsche. Should I drive the Porsche? And it was like a 1991 Porsche, and their point was, you know, driving a Porsche kind of says something about you, especially like the early 90s model Porsche. And they were listening to her and they said, you just don't seem like a Porsche kind of person. So maybe in that similar vein, I am not an embossing folder kind of person. I mean, this is my medium here. So, all right.
Well, I mean, the nature of
This
your
is not a
paper crafts
Porsche, but I
are
definitely don't own the embossing
postcards.
machine. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
something
I
to
just
think
think that
about.
your paper arts are more postcards, and it's not something you would normally use on a postcard.
That's true. Carrie wants to know, what is the story behind the skull? And I'm going to go back down to make more postcards.
Are you talking about me, Carrie?
Yes.
Or talking about,
Your
okay.
skull. I don't have any skulls over here.
Okay.
It
So
must be that skull.
this was a stamp series by Tim Holtz that I bought for Halloween. And what I did was I was doing decorations for Halloween, and I was taking this image and I was putting it on bottles, colored bottles that we put colored water in to make poison, right? So what I was doing is
Okay.
I was demonstrating on the Misty how it's really good for large images, so that if you don't get a good inking the first time around, you can re-ink and stamp again in place until you get the coverage that you want. And that's the beauty of the Misty, is that you can leave your card in place and keep on inking it until you get full coverage. To where if you're stamping with a wooden stamp by hand, you would never be able to do that, or it'd be very difficult to do that. So that's what's going on here. This is just a demo piece, but I have these Halloween themes, rubber stamps, cling stamps, I should say, that I was demoing with the Misty. So that's the story of that. And Pam says that the skull has more teeth than she does. So she made she made that comment during the session. So yeah, but I'm not picking my teeth. I'm getting the the Jolly Rancher off of my teeth, so off my bridge, I should say. So
Which
any
is
pepper candy
actually,
to
I have the tendency, this is why I don't eat Jolly Ranchers, because I will eat them and then like my molars will get adhered
yeah.
together because they'll melt together and I'm like, I have lockjaw, I can't talk. So,
Patty's
yeah.
here.
Hey,
Hello,
Patty.
Patty.
Hello, Patty.
For those of you who've been wondering, Patty's son is recovering and doing much better. His fever had a 2-day fever, and now he is much better, or he is
Awesome.
mending.
Lord, that's
So,
great news.
so that is very great news. So thank you, Patty. And we've been thinking about you and your son these last couple of days. So very happy to know that he's on the mend. Okay.
How does it feel to like have to watch me craft?
Oh, I think it's fun. Anna's here.
Hey, Anna.
Welcome.
So
I think it's you that's pixelating. It really is.
It really is me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know.
You're what?
Crud, what was I going to say? I don't know.
I interrupted you. You're saying something.
Something about, oh yeah, I think by now everybody who was going, I didn't send them to everybody. There was only a set of 4 because that's what I had to work with. But that Feral Hog Facts postcard, there were 4 of them that went out, and I think all 4 of you guys should have all received them by now. I think
you guys,
Joycey,
you guys. I got mine, and when I saw that one of 4, I'm like, oh wow, I'm getting 4 of these. I can't wait to see what the other 4 facts are. And then I realized, nope, she made 4.
No, and in fact, I got that idea from Fee because when Fee did her same storm, different boat, postcard series, I realized, and I had never thought of doing this before, I was like, oh my God, I can do one of many. And so the 4 postcards were actually identical in terms of like the facts that were on the back and the picture that was on the front. But I thought that was an interesting idea. So Fee actually was the one who kind of gave me the inspiration to try that.
Well,
so
I'm a little upset with you about that, just to let you know.
Oh, really?
I am.
Do tell.
Because when I got home the day after,
okay.
Guess who I found in the foyer of my apartment building?
What you found?
Yep.
A bum? I don't know. What did you find in the
Con? Bacone was in the foyer of my apartment complex trying to escape so he could be feral. Yeah, he wanted tusks.
See, you know, you
So
got
you're a bad
with the
influence.
tusks, like you got to be in it to win it, man. You can't. They don't just get awarded out to anyone. You got to like work for them. So, I support his escape endeavors. I hope one day he can escape and see what the real world looks like.
Yeah, so he can run across Pepito in the sewers.
Run amok. Run amok. I think that's the term. Running amok.
I'm gonna look that up. I wonder where that phrase
I
came
have
from.
no idea.
I know, run amok. I think it's. I am so fanatical about word usage and
Like origination.
etymology.
Like where did this word come
Yeah,
from? What does this actually mean?
yeah. Or more importantly, like phrases, the etymology of phrases, like mind your p's and q's. You know that one.
I assume that's like a children's handwriting lecture, like because the
No,
lowercase p and the lowercase q look similar, and they can be maybe
right, just reversed.
yeah,
The
maybe they
reverse,
can be
yeah.
mistaken for one another. That's my guess on
But
the
no,
where
it's
that
an
came from.
old sailor's saying.
It is.
Yeah, because when sailors were in port waiting for their ship to dock up and go out to sea,
Yep.
all of the local pub owners would give them credit until they got paid, because they got paid before they went to sea.
Okay.
So they could buy all their munitions and do all the stuff that they needed.
Uh huh.
So all the pub owners would give them credit. And so they would have P's for pints, Q's for quarts. And so they would have little tick marks of how much of what they drank. And so when they got
Oh.
paid, they would have to pay up. And so they would say, mind your P's and Q's. In other words, keep track of your pints and quarts so that you have enough money to pay it off.
Lest a pub owner come find you, hunt you down, and shake you
Exactly.
down for those P's and Q's.
Yeah, so that's where that was
Oh.
the origination of that
Wow.
phrase. Mind your P's and Q's.
See, we learned something tonight.
Jennifer says it's also a letterpress phrase because when you're setting type, it's very easy to get the P's and Q's mixed up because they do look similar, and because you have to set your press in reverse so that it prints correctly. And so one of the mistakes that you can very easily make is to put the P's and Q's the wrong direction because you get confused about setting your type.
P.S. Patty also says that the feral hog facts postcard made her snort laugh. So I'm glad I could accomplish that. That is awesome.
That's kind of appropriate, right? Snorting, laughing about reading about pigs.
And wait, somebody was asking about Bacone. Carrie wants to know, is Bacone allowed to post?
He is not, because he'll get more followers than me, and I cannot have that.
Is Bacone allowed to have his own novelty account? I don't
Nope.
know if I'm lagging or if you're lagging.
He's asked, and I have said no.
No.
Am I lagging?
A little bit. A little bit.
I think it's me now.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's you. It's not me.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
your
fuzzing
lag.
my screen now.
Yup. So now, are you still using?
Yup.
Do you still use the two devices?
I am.
Okay. Oh, so you can see on your other device if you're actually lagging or not.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
So I have my phone directed at me, and then I'm reading on the iPad.
Ah, I see. Okay. Which
Patty
actually
says
that
there
makes
was a lot of
sense.
static and background noise.
There is, but I think do you have a fan?
Yes. Can you hear my fan?
Yes, I can. Yes, we can.
Okay.
It sounds very hurricaney.
Does it really sound that loud?
No. No, just
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, so the question became, at what point in time do you think Bacone will get a novelty account?
He has to be a teenager.
And like, what is that in hog years?
Like 7.
Oh man, that's a long time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because I won't lie, and nobody go out and do this before I can jump on this concept. I was thinking of making an alternate account called Pepito the Rat, or Pepito the Ratito, but Pepito the Raton. Anyway, I was gonna make one, a separate side account for Pepito, but then I thought, gosh, that would be funny. But then I thought, that's an awful lot of content I'm gonna have to come up with, and I'm like, I don't
It
know if I am in the mood to make more content.
Well, that's the thing. I would love to have a Bacone account, but I already have 3 separate accounts, and to add one more, it's a lot. It's a lot of content. As we all
Yes.
know, it takes time and to be creative with something that's not real, to make it real and to give its own backstory and to do all that kind of stuff takes a lot of effort and time as
That
well.
is a lot of
So,
creative energy that I'm like, I don't know if
yeah,
I have that. So for now, he
yeah.
will live on through my 15-second stories, I guess. For now.
Well, plus, I think what's cool about that, though, and this is in all honesty, I think it's so cool that you can create that with your daughters and have something to share
Yeah, it's
amongst the
pretty
3 of you,
fun.
and that they still get the excitement out of it because, trust me, as you will know, there's going to come a time where they're not going to want to have anything to do with you. So
You
enjoy these years
know,
now.
for now
Yeah,
they're like, wow, you make crafts. That's so cool. You're cool. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this for as long as I
yeah,
can
exactly.
because in a few years I will not be cool. So
So, Janet, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. There is no Santa Claus. Hopefully, Oriah isn't listening.
yo, you can't say that stuff. You can't
But
say
there is
that
no
stuff
Santa
on
Claus,
Instagram.
and there and th- and there is no Bacon. He's a figment of my imagination.
And
So
just so you
yeah,
guys know,
sorry to
Pepito
burst your
is
bubble.
real. He's real.
Okay, cool.
He is in no way a subconscious reflection of my internal rage. He is in no way a reflection of that.
Sharp and biting. Okay, I get that.
Sharp, biting. Let's see. I'm like, let's see. Sharp, biting, likes to steal things. I'm like, he no way reflects me. There's absolutely no
Patty,
connection there.
Patty would like to know how old your girls are.
Oh, the youngest is almost 7. I always have to think about this for a second. And the eldest is 10. So yeah, almost 7 and 10.
Jim says there are 5-minute warnings. This is our 5-minute warning.
Janet wants
So,
to analyze
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bacone.
Yeah. No, not me. She's talking about you and Pepito, not me. I'm sure
And
there's some Freudian thing there in both of our cases, but I don't want to go. I don't even want to know.
I don't
I'd much
believe in
rather be.
Freud. Yeah, sorry, I don't believe in that Freud theory stuff.
So, what kind of theory, what developmental theory do you believe in,
I
or
don't
do
know,
you?
but I feel like Freud's like overblown and overplayed. Like there might be some better ones out there, but I don't know if I don't know how much stock I put in all of his theories. Like maybe some of them were
Yeah,
directionally
but I
accurate,
think
but
no,
not in
I think you
entirety.
yeah no, I think you're absolutely right. I think that's with any of these theorists that some of them were on the nose and some of them were
Yeah,
just
and some of
out there.
them
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
with some interpretation they could be
Yeah,
considered
right.
fairly accurate, but not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Patty says those are sweet ages for your girls.
So
So
far, so
yeah.
far. Yeah, we'll see how the teen years go.
So let us know via the chat if you like this format, if you want me to continue to narrate until we figure things out, or if you would like a second demo person. Let us know because I could do it either way. like being with everyone, but if you would rather have someone else demo, let us know that as well.
I mean, from an
But
origin perspective, this is kind of how it all started. So
yeah,
I am
absolutely. So
perfectly fine just
yeah,
like continuing on in this
yeah,
manner.
cool.
And yeah,
And we'll hope that my demoing days are sooner rather than later. But yeah, so let us know. And then for those of you, I know some of you have already submitted your. Thank you, Anna. It's very nice, very kind of you to say. Um, and Nick as well. Some of you have already sent me pictures. I haven't had a chance to look at them because I've been moderating here. Um, but so I will take a look. If you haven't done that project that I mentioned earlier, that'd be great if you could. I'm just trying to figure this out for people who can't access my studio videos. So I'm just trying to help those people because you know me. I want you to all see me because
yeah,
it's
because
all about me
it
now.
seems like it varies upon device and
I think so. It may be device. It may be how old your camera is, how old your iPhone is.
it could also
Uh,
be how late, when was the last time you updated your Instagram app as well? So
that's
maybe
true.
there's a
Yeah.
patch there that you
Yeah.
need to upgrade your version of the
Yeah.
app. I mean, there's a few different things I can think of that it could be, but
Right.
I definitely know like my user experience is different because the way you described it, I'm like, I didn't see that when I looked on the phone on the app,
Right.
but maybe it's just mileage varies depending on what device
Yeah.
you use.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, I got like 4 of my Halloween postcards fully done. So I just have one left for tomorrow, which I will put a backing on tomorrow. So
Hey,
yay,
well, we have 1 minute left, so we thank
crazy.
all of you for being. I know. Thank all of you for being here. We have where to be and come to spend your time, and we are so thankful and grateful that you decide to spend your time with us. So thank you, and I'm going to finish with saying thanks.
Yeah, thanks for popping in. Yeah, it was a
So
pleasant
Alton, it's all
surprise.
you.
It was a
Yeah,
pleasant
exactly.
surprise. I was like, I don't know. We'll have to figure out a roving cast of characters, and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work. So yeah, super happy that you were able to join us and keep it going. So cool
Yep.
beans.
We'll
Thank
see
you
everyone
guys.
tomorrow night, same
Yeah.
time, same bat channel.
Bye. Have a good night,
Bye.
guys. See ya.